Kids say the darndest things, but sometimes they also come up with the darndest things too. From funny kid test answers to some of the most hilarious real-life situations, wait until you see what these kids got up to. Stick around to see the ultimate cosplay that will leave you laughing for hours. Don't forget to subscribe to The Things and give this video a big thumbs up. Now let's get to the 20 kids who are so funny they might be geniuses. Circle a tornado. Let's start with this genius. Sometimes tests can be pretty confusing. Like this one, for example. The question states, which location would be the most dangerous during a tornado? But the kid got confused because the answers underneath made it seem like circle one is also an answer. In school, at a park, and in a store all sound like they're the right type of answers, but doesn't circle one also look like an actual answer? We can't blame this kid for picking it, and their explanation is actually pretty spot on. Circling a tornado would be more dangerous than most of the other options mentioned. Grown-ups are weird. Kids sometimes give us unique perspectives in what they think adults are like this child who actually said something everyone wants to say, but we don't. The kid said that every adult says, "How are you?" and you always have to say, "You're doing good," even though you're really not doing that good. This kid is totally right. Adults don't really want to know how you're doing unless they're your best friends. It's just small talk, and weirdly done at that. And it's about time someone called them out on it. Well done, kid. QUADRILATERALS. We've mentioned this a couple of times in our other videos, but it's one of our favorite fails ever. Sure, Hope totally missed the point, but she's a clear genius. She was asked to name the quadrilaterals. In case you didn't know, there are things like parallelograms, rectangles, rhombuses, squares, trapezoids, and so on and so on. But Hope had a different idea. She literally named them, and it's absolutely hilarious. Our favorite is Tedison the rectangle, but we also love Bob the square. Even Kate with a C and Harry with one R are adorable. A total genius. Chinese. This one is just simply amazing. This kid had a pretty interesting homework assignment. He had to become a Chinese immigrant in the 1870s and write a letter home describing his experiences. But instead of writing it in English, this kid wrote it in Chinese. Here are some of the things they said in their essay. The life here is bad. The working condition is not good and lacks employee benefits. However, please do not worry. I am working very hard here and will soon take care of myself. How is everyone? I missed all of you a lot and hope that you can meet again. And that was it. This kid is a genius. Stuck on an island. This one is also pretty clever. This kid got asked if they would rather be stuck on an island all alone or with one person they hate, and they also had to explain why. We'd probably rather be stuck on an island all alone. But this kid said they'd rather be stuck on an island with someone they hated so they could eat them. That's a pretty intense thought, right? But if you think about it, it's actually quite genius, even though it's definitely barbaric. Seriously, some of these kids are pretty terrible, but you have to admit they are still clever geniuses. NOTECARDS. You might wonder what this is about, and it might not be clear unless you see the caption of the photo. A teacher posted a photo with a caption saying they will always allow 3x5 note cards in their exams to help them out. But this girl took it to a new level when she realized the teacher never specified whether he meant inches or feet. Yup, you're right. She actually brought a 3x5 foot note card to class. And what's even better is the fact that the teacher approved it, even though we have a feeling he probably specified the clear measurements afterwards. We have what? Here's another total genius. Unscrambling words can be hard, especially if the words can have more than one meaning. Like this kid that had to figure out what these scrambled words actually mean. Do you see the response? We have what now? That's definitely not what the actual word's supposed to say. It's supposed to be, we have this. What's even better is the fact that the words are clearly written in the top right corner, but still, you have to admit that this is pretty hilarious. We seriously hope this kid got some bonus points because they definitely deserve them. Spelling. Spelling's not easy for kids, especially when they're first trying to learn it. But you have to admit that this kid is a clear genius for figuring out this little spelling secret. They had to write 10 words they can spell. Seems like it shouldn't be a complicated task, right? But instead of actually writing 10 words they can spell, they just copied the words from the instruction. They also added the word octopus and the number 7 and 2. Seriously, this is pretty genius, and we bet most kids would never figure that out. This kid is an actual inspiration. Married forever. This is not a test answer, but it's an interesting insight into what kids know about being married, and you'd be totally surprised by their answers. Ricky might just be 10 years old, but he knows that in order to make your marriage work, you need to tell your wife that she's pretty. And then he makes it even better by adding you need to tell her she's pretty even if she looks like a truck. The teacher even made a joke out of it by adding that Ricky's clearly going to stay married forever. And with his advice, you can do the same too. Simple, right? Whiteout. Okay, this one has to be one of our favorite funny moments we have ever seen. It's just pure genius, and we've never seen anything like this. We never dared to do this as kids, but we also didn't think about doing it either. Jackie had a brilliant idea of whiting out the question she didn't know the answer to instead of actually answering it. How amazing is that? It's pretty clever she even thought of it in the first place. Even though it's very clear that the teacher wasn't so impressed with Jackie's wit. But don't worry, Jackie, because we're definitely impressed. Heartless creatures. This one is also pretty funny. This kid had to answer a question about evolution. They were shown 3 pictures of giraffes. 2 of them were eating the tree, but you can also see the third one being too short to reach the tree. By the third picture, the giraffe's life was lost. Instead of answering the question, the kid simply wrote that giraffes are heartless creatures, which is true if you consider that the 2 giraffes didn't even offer food to the other one. And in case you're wondering which answer is actually correct, this is known as Lamarck's theory of evolution. Bacon. We have no idea what this kid's name is supposed to be at the top right corner, but that's not the point of this picture. This child had to fill out the blanks and make a story out of it. But instead of choosing any other words that would probably be less cruel, the kid gave everyone a reality shock. A pig really is a pig until it becomes bacon. Just in case you didn't know that already. He gets a bonus point for creativity, but loses a bonus point because he didn't spell bacon right. Either way, this is pretty hilarious and so true. Wild answers. We've talked a lot about spelling tests today, but here's another one. This kid really had the wildest answers ever, but we're totally here for them. The kid seems to have a thing for kittens because they use the word in almost every single sentence they have to make. But what makes this even better is the teacher's comments, or the fact that the kid still managed to get 100% on this spelling test, even though they gave some of the most wild answers we've ever seen. To be fair, all of these answers could have been turned into viral tweets. 100 years. This one is also one of our favorite answers ever. We've seen a couple of these floating around, but this kid takes it to a new level. Graham was asked what he'll be doing when he's 100 years old. He drew an awesome image of him breaking out of his tomb. Talk about having ambition. To be fair, Graham could actually be 100 years old and not be in his tomb also, but we like this version much better. Come to think of it, we also couldn't wait to break out of our tombs and cause havoc when we reach 100 years of age. Sounds like fun, judging by Graham's image. Highest frequency. You've probably seen this one before too, but it's just so good we have to feature it again. Mariah Carey lovers, this one's for you. When asked what is the highest frequency noise a human can reach, a kid replied that it's Mariah Carey. Well, that's technically true. Normal human frequency is around 3,000 hertz, but Mariah Carey's reaches about 3,100 hertz, which is pretty impressive. And in case you're wondering, frogs, goldfish, and turtles can only reach a frequency of up to 3,000 hertz. So, yep, they can enjoy Mariah's beautiful whistle notes like we can. Not an idiot. We like this one because it's just straight to the point. We all know kids can be ruthless, and sometimes they remind us that with their test answers. This kid got asked to circle the organism that would be classified as plant. They got presented with 4 organisms, but the kid gave the most hilarious answer by saying they know the answer is flower because they are not an idiot. Absolutely amazing. Now get ready because our final 4 kids have nothing to do with school or test answers, but they're still just as hilarious. Home theater. Seriously, this one totally wins. This kid created the ultimate home theater, and while it's pretty funny, it's actually genius. He cut out a box, made a small hole for their phone, put it on top, and put the box over his head. Sure, it might not be practical, especially if you're claustrophobic, but it's pretty genius. We have no idea how he could feel comfortable in there, but hey, we get it, it's all for entertainment. Wait until you see another version of this genius that's way more practical, but also way funnier. Reading in a bath. We bet there are a few of you out there that are actually afraid to read in a bath because you don't want to drop your book or your phone. Well, this kid has a solution. Get a dog leash, attach it to the hook above the bath, attach the other end to your book, and voila! If you let go of your book, it'll fly up instead of ending wet. If that's not the most hilarious thing, but also the most genius thing that you've ever seen, we're not sure what is. Well, we might have an idea because it's probably one of our last 2 hilarious kids. This kid. We told you this version of the home theater is much better than the box version. This kid totally upgraded the box by finding a glass table. He simply placed the phone on the glass table, faced it screen down, and voila, he got a home theater. What a perfect way to watch your favorite movie. Of course, things could get really complicated if you were watching a horror movie or if you wanted to switch to another video, but hey, it's one of the best thoughts that we've ever seen. Be right back, gonna go find a glass table after we show you this last kid's genius. Cosplay. We said this a lot in this video, but this is seriously the best thing that we have ever seen. This kid totally nailed this dog cosplay, and we never even expected it. We have so many questions. How? What? And why did that dog actually look so good with this pink wig? Seriously, this is totally brilliant, and this kid deserves all bonus points for that awesome creation. We don't even know how they managed to make this work, but we're totally here for it. Well done, kid. We told you, these are the kids that are so funny, they're actually geniuses. And that's all for our video today. Let us know in the comment section below which kid you thought was the funniest or most genius. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.